My name is John, and this is my channel, Island Uncharted, where I explore the remote reaches of Vancouver Island and beyond. On this episode, I will be showing you some of my favorite waterfalls in the central region of Vancouver Island. Join me for the adventure. Deep on the backroads of Vancouver Island, we set out toward Qualicum in search of a hidden gem, Lucky Falls. The drive alone is worth the trip. Winding gravel roads, mountain views, and forests that feel untouched by time. When we arrive at the GPS coordinates, there's no sign, there's no trail, just silence. We hike a considerable distance before discovering a hidden mountain lake, still and glassy, with a weathered canoe tucked beneath the trees like it was waiting just for us. We push the canoe into the water and paddle through the cold air. The current pulls us to the lip of the waterfall, which cascades into the valley below. I now know that I found Lucky Falls, but there must be a trail to the bottom of the falls. After backtracking for a short bit, I discover a narrow, overgrown trail that's almost invisible. The trail leads us straight through the thick underbrush, and there it is. A waterfall in the mountain lake named by loggers from a bygone era. This trip took us deep into the backcountry near Kennedy Lake, where I teamed up with my longtime friend John for an adventure to Vir-gin Falls. I've been to these falls many times, and it's a place I love to visit. The road isn't too bad if you just take it slow, but it's remote and can turn rough fast. When you're out here, you feel a long way from everything, and that's kind of the point. We pass salmon fighting their way upstream, and even watch the black bear fishing in the river. Vir-gin Falls sits within the traditional territory of the Huu-ay-aht First Nation, whose history here runs deep. The falls themselves crash down from the top of a basalt cliff into a clear blue pool surrounded by forest that feels simply untouched. Alright, so the game plan for today is drive out to the lake, gas up the boat, take the boat 35 kilometers down the lake to the base of the trail. There, our plan is to try to get to the falls today. So here we go, we just got to the cabin, lugged all our gear down. We're already sweaty, we haven't even hiked yet. This is one of those trips you'll never forget, hiking to Dela Falls, one of Canada's tallest waterfalls, deep in the Vancouver Island backcountry with my longtime friend Dustin. It's been on my bucket list for years. The journey starts with a boat ride across Great Central Lake, then a rugged trail carved in the 1890s by Joe Drinkwater, a prospector who named the falls after his wife, Della. But long before that, this land was, and still is, the traditional territory of the Hupačasath First Nation. Now back to Joe Drinkwater. He originally built the route by hand, hauling gear up the valley with a horse named Molly. Remnants of his old cabin still stand near the trail, but they are easy to miss. But this trip wasn't just about the hike. Dustin came here to lay his father to rest. He took a quiet moment alone at the base of the falls, letting the mist carry his dad's ashes into the rushing water. It was a powerful thing to witness, a final goodbye in a place wild enough to hold it. Dela Falls is one of my favorite hikes on Vancouver Island. Alright, so here we are. It's Random Adventure Friday. I'm hanging out with my buddy Dustin. We drove my mom's car to the trailhead at Kennedy Falls. I'm sorry, Mom, I love you. So we're gonna hike in here. It's about 5K each way. Hopefully get to see the falls today.
You can usually drive right in with a four-wheel drive, but at this time of year, the road is completely flooded, so we hike. The old road winds through dense, wet forest. With each step, the roar of the waterfall grows louder and louder. I've had numerous encounters with bears here before, so the rifle's not for show, it's for safety. Then we finally see it, lo and behold, Kennedy Falls, swollen with spring runoff, crashing into the gorge below. Just outside of Port Alberni, and a short walk off the main logging road, brings you to China Creek Falls. It's not far off the beaten path, but the moment you hear the water, everything else fades away. The trail winds gently through second growth forest, with roots underfoot and ferns spilling out onto the path. But before we hit the falls, I want to show you one of my favorite swimming holes. When I was younger, barely anyone came out here. It was rougher, quieter, you could sit by the water and not see another soul all afternoon. These days, more people have found their way here. The trail's more worn, but the place still holds a wild feeling. There are no signs, no fences, and no platforms. Just the sound of the water, the hush of the trees, and the feeling like nature still runs the show. The falls were a little low on this trip, which isn't really surprising for July. In the wetter months, they're way more powerful. But even now, there's something calming about it. The soft flow of water, the cool air, and the shade from the trees. Tucked away in the heart of Vancouver Island's wilderness lies Dixon Falls. Long before it became a swimming hole, this land was part of the traditional territory of the Nuu-chah-nulth people, who have lived in harmony with these forests for thousands of years. A hidden gem where cool mount water spills into a jade-green pool, framed by moss-covered cliffs and ancient cedar. It's one of the spots where I find peace. Just outside of Parksville sits Englishman River Falls, an easy-to-reach slice of wilderness that's perfect for a day trip or a weekend getaway. The falls are located in the traditional territory of the Qualicum First Nation, whose deep connection to this land goes back for thousands of years. The name Englishman River comes from a settler legend, but the real story here lies in the land, the water, and the people who lived with it for generations. In regards to the settler legend, it's a story sort of steeped in mystery. Apparently a First Nations person was wandering the side of the river and found a dead body. The dead body was that of an Englishman, and the name simply stuck, Englishman River. The story seems pretty janky to me. There are two main waterfalls, the upper and the lower. Each of them has their own character. A decent trail system loops throughout the park, winding through the forest, across the bridges, and along the rocky edge of the canyon. It's well maintained, it's not difficult, and it's perfect for families or anyone just wanting to stretch their legs and just simply get outside. There's also a super chill campground nearby, surrounded by big trees and the steady sound of the rushing water. Whether you're up for a hike, a swim, or just to enjoy the forest, Englishman River Falls is one of those places that keeps calling. In the heat of the summer, the river below the falls turns into a natural swimming hole. Crystal clear water. I mean, it's cold, but there's spots deep enough to jump in and shallow enough for kids to play safely. Englishman River Falls is definitely worth the visit. I don't know why I have such little footage of Cerita Falls. Maybe it's just that kind of place. It pulls you in, you forget to film. Tucked deep in the Huu-ay-aht territory, this powerful cascade flows through land that has been cared for by the First Nations for thousands of years. It's quiet, sacred, and stunning. Sometimes the camera just can't capture what it feels like to stand there in person. This is Little Qualicum Falls, one of the most beautiful and easily accessible spots on Vancouver Island. Nestled between Parksville and Cameron Lake, the falls cut through a narrow canyon surrounded by thick forest, moss-covered rocks, and the constant roar of water. These lands are part of the traditional territory of the Qualcomm First Nation, who's lived along these rivers and coastlines for millennia. The name Qualicum itself is thought to come from a Pentlatch word, meaning where the dog salmon run. The trail system here once again loops along both sides of the canyon, offering views of the upper and lower falls from several bridges. It's a short, scenic hike with a ton of payoff. It's absolutely perfect for families or anyone just looking to escape the city. Just up the road is a super awesome campground. It's actually a great spot for a weekend stay, whether you're into hiking, photography, or just chilling by the water. Little Qualicum Falls is a place you will not forget. Just outside of Port Alberni, tucked into the forest, is Stokes Falls, the lesser known but beautiful spot that's definitely worth a visit. Named after George Stokes, one of the early settlers in the area. But the land here belongs to the Tseshaht First Nation, who lived in this valley for countless generations. Their deep connection to the Sumas River system and surrounding forests still shapes the region today. Stokes Falls is easy to get to, and it's perfect for a short afternoon hike. The trail end is peaceful, winding through thick forests and old logging roads. When the water's running high, especially in spring, Stokes Falls roars with power. A stunning cascade over a dark rock. But right now, in the heat of July, the water is low. Still beautiful, but quiet. Almost like it's resting. Thank you guys for sticking around until the end of the video. If you like this type of content, make sure to check out my channel on YouTube, Island Uncharted. I have tons of videos all over Vancouver Island with stuff just like this. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. If you like the channel, consider subscribing. I will see you guys on the next one.